Hey guys, it's David from theunlocker.com, and today we're doing a quick review of the HTC Evo View 4G and its Wi-Fi only cousin, the HTC Flyer. And since this is an Android device, we're not going to be focusing on Android itself because most devices that are running Android, the experience is going to be very similar. So we're going to focus just on what makes this device unique. So if you need a refresher course on what Android is or how it works, simply scroll down to the bottom of this review and click on the Android Overviews link located. Also, since this is an HTC made Android device, it does mean that it is running HTC Sense, which is HTC's custom user interface that they put on top of Android. For more information on that, you can also scroll down to our HTC Sense review/walkthrough and check that out.
Okay, so let's first discuss the hardware of this thing. Looking at it, it's about the same size as, say, the Galaxy Tab, the 7-inch version. But as far as the specs are concerned, that's kind of where the similarities end. It has a 1.5 gigahertz processor, 1 gigabyte of RAM, a 7-inch capacitive touchscreen, a 5 megapixel camera on the back, and a 1.3 megapixel camera on the front for video calling. Okay, so this model you're looking at here is the HTC Flyer. So it only has Wi-Fi, no 3 or 4G. The Evo View 4G for Sprint is identical, minus some cosmetic changes, the back looks a little different, etc. And the fact that the Sprint version obviously has Sprint's 3G and 4G capabilities built in. On the topic of hardware, let's check out the sound quality from the not one, but 2 speakers on the back.
Buzzing here, it's pretty loud.
As for the camera, launches pretty quickly. It's a 5 megapixel camera, and to be honest, it takes pretty much the same kind of shots as any other HTC Android device with a 5 megapixel camera. They're pretty good in good lit situations, but unfortunately, this camera does not have a flash. So if you're in a low light situation, well, you're just not taking a picture. For image and video samples though, check out just below this video on our site. So battery life on this thing is pretty excellent, I have to say. Considering it has a 400 milliamp battery though, that was expected. I've actually used it for over a day without charging it, and it lasted with no problems. And truthfully, in any device I get, that's all I really care about. Make it from when I wake up and unplug it to when I go to sleep and I can plug it back in. And now for the fun stuff. So at this point you may be thinking, great, another Android tablet. I have enough trouble deciding on the ones that are already out. Why would you make my life that much harder by adding a whole nother one? Well, before you hurt someone, let me show you something. Well, this little pen makes a huge difference. Using the pen, you can tap here when looking at any screen, and it turns that screen into a screenshot that you can now draw on. You can also do the same with any pictures you take, documents you download. Anything that comes on the screen can now be drawn on. Now, that may not sound like a big deal to you, but it opens a world of possibilities. So let's go for the obvious scenario first. Say you want to just draw. And not finger paint like most tablets force you to do. You actually want to draw. So you can grab any of these utensils here, pencil, pen, highlighter, Sharpie, paintbrush, etc. We'll use the pen, or excuse me, the pencil, and you can just start to draw. Now the cool thing also about this is that this little tip here has some play to it. It can go up and down. So what you can do is you can actually draw very lightly, or you can push down harder to get a harder line, just like you can do with a real pencil. Thanks to the Notes app that HTC has added to the device, you can also use your pen to, well, take notes. but it's a bit more robust than that. Not only can you jot down notes, but you can also insert pictures. Insert text. You can even insert audio, documents, and different files. You can also push this little record button, and it'll record whatever it is you're saying, as well as notes that you take. So you can draw here, and then maybe write some text there. Insert a picture there, etc. And then, now, you can push play.
And it'll record whatever it is you're saying, as well as notes that you take. So, you can draw here. And then, maybe write some text there. Insert a picture there.
You can also go into the Reader app that HTC has added, which is a neat little, well, an e-reader app. And you can flick through the pages. You can even hold it down like that. Nice little effect to it. And using your pen, you can deface your book, just like in real life. You can also use it for more practical things, I guess, like highlighting certain words. And then head to the Annotations menu. Check out the words you've highlighted, just in case you need to remind yourself later on to look up what petticoats are, for example. You can also take pictures with the front or rear facing camera and, you guessed it, draw on them. You can use this power for good, like maybe decorating a wall in your house. I'm gonna put a picture there. And a lamp. Missed my calling, I really did. Or for evil. So you can see what a difference the pen can actually make on this device. It gives it that uniqueness factor, in my opinion, that Android tablets nowadays kind of need. Plus, on top of all that, it still has all the things you'd expect from a tablet. You've got email, internet, music, movies, etc. One major downside to this device is the fact that this pen is generally sold separately. If you buy the HTC Flyer at Best Buy, the pen is at the moment not included and can cost you a hefty sum of close to $80, which is a lot. But if you do get it from Sprint, the Evo View 4G, at the moment the pen is included. And to me, the whole point of this device, as you can tell by the review, is the pen. So, if you have to get the device, you'll want to get the pen with it. Now, that doesn't say much for what happens if you lose your pen. That's also another problem. There is nowhere on the device to hold the pen, so the pen is something you have to carry separately. Older, styluses, obviously not this size, but older styluses and older devices actually slipped in somewhere underneath the phone or whatever and slid inside. This way you didn't have to worry about ever losing them, but this does not. So, losing this stylus would be a very expensive mistake. Bottom line is, if you're someone who still carries around a notebook, whether it's to draw with, take notes with, etc., this might be the one tablet that, for you at least, might actually make your life easier and not just sit on your coffee table. If you do decide to get an HTC Evo View or a Flyer, head to our site and click on How-Tos, Basic How-Tos, Android, and then the Evo View for a ton of how-tos to get you started. Also, stay tuned to our site over the next couple of days for our video on the different scenarios when an HTC Evo View / Flyer might come in handy.